How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back to another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. We had an off day yesterday, and some exciting news came to the forefront. For the first time in 37 years, the Chicago Cubs are going to be hosting the All-Star Game. We're going to talk about Miguel Amaya and Matthew Boyd, some key contributors to this club so far this year, and so much more. We'll preview our first game against the Reds. But before we get into all that, just a big shout out to you guys. All the likes, the subscriptions, and the comments have been absolutely fantastic. Keep them coming. I love interacting with you guys on a daily basis. Let's keep on growing. So, the Cubs just got news yesterday that MLB is going to allow them to host the 2027 MLB All-Star Game, the Midsummer Classics, coming back to Wrigley. And honestly, it's the first time in my lifetime, and I am beyond excited. I'm going to start putting away money as we speak. I desperately would like to go to both events, hopefully, because the All-Star Game festivities are absolutely a blast. I know a lot of people, again, you don't come to Cubs Daily because you don't like baseball, but the home run derby at Wrigley, it's going to be magical. And I saw it on Twitter yesterday. I kind of thought about it. If the Cubs do their job, right? If the Cubs do their job and they extend Pete Crow Armstrong, they extend Kyle Tucker, I'm beyond excited to watch them take center and right field during the All-Star Game for the 2027 All-Star Game with the Chicago Cubs logo on their jersey. I mean, it's going to be an absolutely spectacular event. You know, Wrigley has done a fantastic job over the past 10 years building the Wrigleyville up even more. You got the park at Wrigley. You got more restaurants around the bar. They are building up to host an event like this. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. And obviously, I cannot wait. But before we get that, we got baseball happening this year. And I do want to spotlight a couple of key cogs. Let's start off with Miguel Amaya, okay? Now, I want to talk about this because obviously the Cubs have had some hype around the catchers this year, right? Carson Kelly got off to an absolutely ridiculous start, hitting like Barry Bonds that first month and a half of the season so far, splitting duties with Miguel Amaya, and he kind of started to take on more of the starting catcher role. And then obviously the Cubs called up Moises Ballesteros, who might not have played catcher, but he is another catcher in the system. But I just want to highlight and point out that Miguel Amaya has been extremely steady over the past year or so. Let's take a look at some of these numbers, ladies and gentlemen. This is 80 games he has played in since July 7th of last year. So 162 game year, 80 just about halfway. And again, he hasn't even been playing full time necessarily. So he's gotten 271 plate appearances. He's been slashing 283, 327 OBP, and 486 slugging. That is over 800 OPS, 813. As you can see right there, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely a fantastic rate. I would say average OPS is closer to 700. And if you're getting this from the catcher's position, absolutely incredible. He's hit 10 home runs, 18 doubles, 57 RBIs. His WRC, which again, league average is 100, a 127. Just been an absolutely steady diet for Miguel Amaya, and he's been developing oh so nicely for this Cubs team. Carson Kelly's here on a short-term deal. Moises Ballesteros, although I did like the glimpses that I saw from him in his brief stint up here, he might need to be a trade piece to go get some big power arm or some bullpen help. But can Miguel Amaya be the steady catcher for this Cubs club for the next 5 to 6 years? I absolutely think so. I think he has all the tools to be successful as a catcher in the big leagues, and I think it's starting to show right before our very eyes. Just continue to watch him progress, get better at the plate on a daily basis. Obviously, the day-to-day, you can obviously nitpick all you want, but since July of last year, we're almost coming up on a calendar year, he has been absolutely steady. And again, you have certain expectations for positions, okay? Like your right fielder and your first baseman, you'd really like to see some good offensive numbers. Maybe your third baseman. Now, shortstop and catcher, you really just want to see good defensive numbers, and whatever they give you offensively is kind of icing on the cake. Well, if Miguel Amaya is going to give you that offensively, then we have our catcher, okay? Carson Kelly, although has been fantastic, I do not expect him to sustain this level of hitting. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. But I just don't see it. But Miguel Amaya, this is steady numbers. I think Miguel Amaya could hit 265 to 285 every single year of his career. I think he's that good offensively, and he's that steady behind the plate. So excited to watch Miguel Amaya continue to develop, and I think he's going to help this guy right here, Mr. Matthew Boyd, continue to have his success that he's had this year. 4-2 with a 2.98 ERA. He is going to be on the bump tonight against Hunter Green. Now, different styles of pitching, right? Matthew Boyd is kind of more of a spot placement guy. Hunter Green is more of a I'm going to blow it by you guy because he can throw an absolute heat down the plate. But Matthew Boyd 4-2 on the year with a 2.98 ERA. I don't think the Cubs could have asked for any more from this guy. This guy's been absolutely incredible, especially coming off the Tommy John surgery last year. He didn't have it all the way last year. He had it the year before. But then around August, September, he was absolutely spectacular for the Guardians and even had a good start in the playoffs as well. 2-year deal for this Cubs team. Kind of plugged him in to be the 4-5 guy. If your 4th or 5th pitcher has a 2.98 ERA, you're doing A-OK as a club. And the Cubs are. They're 10 games above 500. So Matthew Boyd has been absolutely spectacular for this Cubs team, and I'm hoping he continues that success tonight in Cincinnati. It's going to be tough because Cincinnati is a very hitter-friendly ballpark. Lots of runs could potentially be scored, so you always got to take that into consideration when these guys are on the bump. So Game 1 is going to be tonight at 5:40 Central Time. The Cubs are 5.5 games up on the Reds. It is the first time we are seeing the Reds. Now, the Reds have given the Cubs trouble. I would definitely say the Cubs and Reds have played closer to 500 against each other than, let's say, against other teams throughout baseball. The offense of the Reds is absolutely incredible. You have names like Ellie De La Cruz. You have Friedel. Austin Hayes is out there. Hines has been hitting incredibly. Will Benson has been an absolute heater. He was the player of the week last week. So you got to really, really stay focused. McLean, Steer, all these guys are really, really good players, and they can obviously score runs at an incredible rate, especially at home. So Matthew's got to do a great job of limiting the damage. Again, you kind of see different starts, right? It's never going to be 1, 2, 3, easy peasy schmeezy, but you saw Cade Horton do it in the last start, right? You know, he let some runners on, but he battled through it, and that's what I expect to see Mr. Boyd do tonight. The off day yesterday was absolutely tremendous, so the Cubs should have their quote-unquote full complement of bullpen arms to go for the game today. So, 5:40 Central Time, Cubs on the road. Now, if you're a betting man, which sometimes I am, I'm going to take the Cubs. If the Cubs money line is plus money, I'm taking it. If the Cubs have -1.5, I'm taking it. And if it's +1.5, I'm taking it. The Cubs are going to win today. They always do well in the first game of series. They have an incredible record, and then it kind of falls off after that. But again, we've won multiple series in a row. Let's get another series out of here today. Gain a game on the Reds and maybe put them a little further back. The Reds are flirting around 500, and so it is almost time for them to make a decision. Again, July is around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. It's May 23rd. June's going to be gone, and then July will be here, and that's when decisions are made for teams. Are they competing? Are they selling, et cetera, et cetera? And we'll have that all covered right here on Cubs Daily. I imagine the Cubs are going to be buying at the deadline. But remember last year, the Cubs traded Morel for Paredes, and that was more of a, hey now move. Like, yeah, we're trying to improve the position, which they did. Paredes was very solid for us. But it wasn't necessarily, it was about the health of the franchise long term. The Cubs always take the health of the franchise long term, but now is the time for the Cubs to strike and make a run at the World Series. You never know when your window will close, so you have to attack while it's open. So that's going to do it for me on Cubs Daily, ladies and gentlemen. Again, appreciate all the likes, subscriptions, and the comments. Keep them coming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.